Hey everybody, it's Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have heavy Scorpio placements in your chart or interesting transits happening for you at this time in Scorpio that are affecting you strongly. This will be for the energy surrounding November 1st through the 15th. We do have Mercury going retrograde in your sign. I've literally just like, I don't know what to say. It's not that I'm terrified of y'all's season, but I am. There's so much depth in this time period because it is so strongly about transformation, death, release, letting go, the unknown, the shadow self. And I feel like that can just be quite difficult for people who aren't as well equipped to handle those transitions. So I'm hoping for some really good energy for you guys. I mean, with it being your season, I'm sure that you're feeling it. I know when it's my season, I am like on top of the fucking world. So I hope you guys are too. That retrograde will be from the 31st to the 19th of November. And as we all know, we do have shadow periods before and after. So we're really looking at mid-December before it kind of lightens up. Always is a time period where people from the past can come back or situations. And I do know this is connected to energy from January, February that's going to be revisiting us. So if you want to think back to that time period and kind of reflect on what was going on, you may be revisiting that circumstance again. I also know that this is a really important energy for us to move through for what is coming in the year 2020. I've always joked, I think since I was like 17 years old, and it's so corny, but I would call it the year of perfect vision. Fucking stupid. Anyways, but now that I'm actually seeing what's going on, I do think that there was validity in that statement. I think because we're see, already happening. I think because we are closing out major karmic cycles here for the past decade and moving into a totally new decade, it's a time to really get serious about what it is that we desire and really move forward with it. That being said, I'm going to take a pause and kind of reflect and see what it is that I see for you guys visually before I start dealing out the cards. Who else had this? Somebody else had this energy. Or maybe they didn't. I don't know. Anyways, it's like I hear a knock on the door. You answer it, you drop everything, and you're just like, what the fuck are you doing here? That might be purely energetic. So I mean, hey, it could actually be happening, but shock. That's how I feel. It's shock. Surprise. Surprise, surprise. All right. Show me what's going to be happening for Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Have the World, completing major cycles, and the Knight of Cups. Moving forward, following your heart. I think maybe that's what's happening here for the remainder of the year for you. Maybe you are closing out huge cycles and letting go of the past so you can move forward into the future by following the dreams that you have set for yourself. I also feel like you're holding on to your feelings at this time for whatever particular reason. Okay. Interesting. Wow. Okay. So you're moving and we do have you right there at the bottom of the deck with death. So you could be undergoing, like I said, some major transformations with closing out these cycles, but at the same time, I feel like you're shifting from really great energy into not so great. So I'm a little worried here. And I don't want you to be worried, because obviously we're going to look at critical points here on how you can move through this energy. And it is just for the 2 weeks, so, or from whenever you do watch this reading. You might dip into a really hard time with your finances. If you are experiencing some trouble, let's go ahead right now and try to save where you can. Because I do think that is your main focus. You're either focusing on finances, or you're focusing on something that you either at one time did feel successful with somebody and now it doesn't feel as successful, and you might be feeling out in the cold. So you're kind of transitioning and, I mean, possibly taking your feelings and your emotions elsewhere to share with somebody else. Let's clarify the world here. Death, yeah. So you're going through major transformations at this time. You are closing out huge chapters of your life, and I think next year is going to really be the kickoff point for you in terms of taking the leap of faith with the Fool. I think you're going to be saying yes to a lot more. And I know I probably shouldn't be talking about next year's energy already, but with this being long-term energy, especially within the world and the death, even though we're talking about 2 weeks here, when I see major arcana cards come up, that is way more of an impact than just 2 weeks. That is something that's going to have a ripple effect that's going to carry throughout your life, or at least throughout the next year or several years possibly. So I just want you guys to keep in mind, or it's until you learn the lesson. That's something else I have to talk to people about all the time. Major arcanas they represent archetypes and lessons that we have to step into, and sometimes we can remain in that energy until we learn the lesson. So work on closing out those chapters. I wouldn't sign any important documents unless you have to during this period, or wait until the end of the year to sign off on it. Like I said, unless you absolutely have to. Let's clarify the Knight of Cups here. Yeah, you may be disappointed in a relationship, or this could be a major relationship ending for you, or being finalized in its ending, so you can move forward. If this is not about a major relationship and it's something you recently entered into, if you feel like someone has come between you, you're probably just moving on and not really dealing with it. Yeah, because we have the Ace of Swords, so you might be cutting it out because in your mind you're just like, you know what, I can't do this, I can't deal with this. The stress, the pressure, the anxiety surrounding it, I just don't want to deal with it. Let's clarify the Four of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So yes, please double check your spending, look at your finances, look at where you can save, because I do feel like you're either moving into a period where you need to be focusing on that, or if this is about your emotions and maybe an opportunity that you had with somebody, maybe in the past you were holding on to your emotions and feelings, and it could even be realizing that your feelings for them had started changing, and because they started getting very intense, you either took that opportunity to take a step back because you weren't ready, or something came into the situation that challenged your emotions and your feelings and made you realize how much you actually do care for this person. But since there's something interjecting into the relationship, you don't want to get hurt, so you're stepping out. I know that sounds confusing, I'm sorry. Let's clarify the Three of Cups. Two of Pentacles. Okay, Six of Wands is clarified by the Ace of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you had something really great, or a new start of something that made you feel quite fulfilled come into your life, and now that may be ending. Maybe it was something very quick. I do think there was an intense connection there, but I also think that they have got some karma they have to wrap up and deal with, and that might be what's getting in the way of your relationship at this time. I think too, this relationship might have been pulling your focus away from yourself and what you need to be doing for yourself. So maybe that's the reminder here, is you are revisiting something that is reminding you that in these situations, you need to be the sole focus. You need to be focusing on what you're doing, where you're going. Yeah, you're balancing that out. I think with Temperance and Three of Cups in reverse, you're not going to be involved in anything anymore that involves more than one other person. In the past, if you had been doing that, maybe you had been doing that to somebody else, maybe you'd been dating around, maybe somebody had been doing that to you. It's just something that I think you're coming into realizing that you can't necessarily handle anymore. We have the Emperor with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the Two of Cups with the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I think you might have a relationship here that's in the outskirts. Outskirts? I don't even know if that's a word. My bad. It just may be in a not so great position right now. But I think, like I said, I think it's because somebody is tending to their responsibilities within a prior relationship. Maybe it's something that's revisiting them through this retrograde period. And it's a big cycle that even they have to close out and take care of before they can move forward. So in the connection, if you are feeling left out in the cold, you might want to reconsider and take into consideration that this person is trying to do what's right by everybody, because with the Emperor there, that is honorable intention. That is someone who is trying to make sure that all parties are benefiting in the best way possible. And honestly, I feel like when the Emperor shows up, it's a sign of respect. So somebody is trying to do what's right. So please keep that in mind. I don't want you to be hurt by this individual. Look, while this whole retrograde period's going on, because I do have the Five of Pentacles, which for me is 5 weeks. Some will say it's 5 months. I'm going to say it's 5 weeks, so that's just going to be my call on that. You guys aren't going to be in the best place. So you can either accept that right now and wait, or you can do whatever it is that you want to do and you can cut that person out and move forward. That is something that's going to be totally up to you at this time. Let me pull some themed cards to see what it is that we are dealing with here. We have the Mentor. We have the Unseen. We have the Dead End. And we have the Anima Mundi. Very interesting. First off, you can either seek out the help or the counsel of another, or this could be you stepping into this higher level of teacher energy. I think you are becoming much more definitely in tune at this time. And I think that if something does seem like it's coming to a dead end, you need to honor that and you need to allow that transformation to happen and that transition to take place. Because I think whatever you're doing, you're moving into a deeper level of, I mean, I'm going to put it quite bluntly, almost magic. There's something very mysterious and I don't want to say dark, but powerful. There's something that's taking place within you, and it's almost, I feel like you need to reserve your energy, and I feel like if you were to spread your energy thin, whether it's in interpersonal relationships or if you're going to allow somebody to kind of like siphon off and take your energy from you, I think it would drain you of your power at this time. And I think there's things that you're moving through right now in your life, I mean, that are really transforming you. I saw it in your last reading with the whole thing of like the monolith and really stepping into your power. And I think if you're really going to accept that power, if it's something that you're really going to grow into and you're going to honor, I think it's got to be through this process of doing kind of like the hermit's journey here. I think it's about going into the woods. I think it's about being by yourself. And I think it's about purging the last of what's left in this cycle that you're closing out, because that's a huge door that's closing. And I think you need to almost do the right thing by yourself and others in honoring the ending of that by walking this path alone for now. If you were in a long-term relationship and it's not something you really want to walk away from, that's fine. If you guys are engaged or moving towards marriage, that's okay. Maybe this isn't your reading. Maybe you need to check out your moon or your rising sign. Whoever this is for, it's very specific in the concept that you are growing and learning how to really nurture and support yourself in your own life without needing the help of others or without needing the assistance of other people. And in that, you are finding your own power, you are finding your own divinity, and you're finding your own path, and that's really beautiful. And I just think that at this time, you need to be doing it alone. That's just me. I'm just here to give advice. And I think too, I really want to see you excel at this. I want to see you become the master of this, because that's what you're trying to walk towards. I also think whatever cycle you're closing out, all of that stuff that was going on, all the things that you were involved in was only draining you of your potential, which is why I think you kind of realized that it reached a dead end and you had to really let go of that and move on to this new path for yourself. Let me pull a couple more clarifiers here. Oh yeah. Yep. Fire, love, goddess, and open road. I think that there is a certain level of, you know, a lot of people refer to it as like Kundalini energy that's awakening within the body. I think that this power that is definitely in your root or sacral is coming alive. It is becoming its own entity. It is rising up within you. And I think it's because you're supposed to walk down this open road, this path. But I think you're supposed to do it from an aspect of embracing this divine love, of embracing what it is that the universe is really attempting to give you, and that is your power. So I wouldn't shame the universe or turn the universe away in that. I would just openly receive and allow that power to rise up within you so you can really embrace all of this with open arms and walk down this road. Because this is a road that doesn't have any blocks in it. This is not something that is going to, you're not going to run into any issues. The path is clear. And I would really embrace that, because it's not that easy for everybody. I feel like a lot of times there's like roadblocks, detours, signs saying to go this way, go that way, roads closed, etc. This is an open road for you. So you're moving from a dead end to an open road. Stay on that path. Don't hinder yourself by thinking that you can avoid it. I just really want you to embrace this, okay, Scorpio? Thank you for joining me. If this did resonate with you, please like, share, subscribe, or comment down below sharing your own personal experience. I love hearing people's stories and experiences, especially if it resonates, and even in a way that it doesn't. I'm all good with constructive criticism. It's not something that really bothers me. We can all grow in different ways. But yeah, stay tuned, because I am planning on doing updates for the new moon in Scorpio. Don't know why I did this before then. I think it just skipped my mind, or it slipped my mind, skipped my mind, whatever. It slipped my mind, and I just forgot. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing the new moon energy readings to see what we can focus on to bring into our lives to help us grow and let go. Thanks for joining me.